Hello everyone, welcome to our tutorial on homebrew thinners here on www.thescalereview.com. If you're like me, I don't like spending a ton of money on thinners. Paints, sure. Thinners, it just seems one of those ubiquitous things that is almost implicit. You would just either use water. I used alcohol and water at one point in time, or Windex. Never really achieved the results that I wanted, but I never really wanted to go splurge on spending $9 on Tamiya lacquer thinner or a Tamiya acrylic thinner. $9 at a pop. You go through those pretty quickly, and I'm pretty thrifty, and it just burned me. So when I saw this tutorial on Facebook, or linked to the tutorial, and I read through it, another video, it's been floating around the internet. I had to give it a try myself. I used Amazon.com to buy the different ingredients to go into the thinner. I think I spent a total of about, it was like about $25, but in terms of the overall quantity, I'll have enough to make 10 or 20 times as much volume as in this little Tamiya lacquer thinner container here, which is 250 milliliters. This container here is about a third of that. It's about 75 milliliters. It's a little mixing container that you can buy at a dollar store. I got 4 for $1. And then all of the other ingredients here, I just store them, and then when I'm ready to mix a new batch, I pull them out. Now the good thing about this homebrew thinner is that A, there's no real precise ratio, and B, the main ingredient is water. So water is almost limitless in terms of supply, and it's very inexpensive. I think using distilled water is probably your best bet. A gallon of distilled water from the supermarket will go a long way, and it won't contain any impurities. It's like chlorine or minerals. So to get started, visit Amazon.com or eBay and pick up some drying retarder. The brand that I bought was called Sachs. And it was the least expensive for the value in terms of how much you got. This is a looking for the volume here. Looks to be about 500 milliliters, probably, or slightly more, of drying retarder. And what drying retarder will do is just delay the drying time just a little bit, so that way it has more time to level for the leveling properties of the paint when it hits the plastic. Flow improver is something also that is added to the mixture, and basically just helps the paint flow through the airbrush a little bit smoother, and also improves the leveling qualities of the paint as well. Isopropyl alcohol, standard rubbing alcohol that you could buy at a pharmacy or a supermarket. Very inexpensive. I think this was probably about $2 for almost 500 milliliters of it. Now, altogether, I think $2 on the alcohol. The drying retarder was probably another $10, and then the most expensive piece was the flow improver. I think was around $15. So, all said and done, again, probably between $25 and $30 from Amazon to create this mixture. Also, you want to pick up some of these disposable pipettes to mix your paint ratios when you're ready to paint, and also some disposable mixing cups as well. Now, to mix the actual formula, there's this one, the rule of thumb that I used, and it actually worked quite well, was about 2/3 distilled water, about 1/6, so half of the remaining third of isopropyl alcohol. And then what I did was I put in, about up to here, where my fingers are, of the flow improver and the drying retarder, respectively. So those two are used in very small quantities. A little bit goes a long way for them. Those are all mixed together in here and shaken up, and then mixed to the right ratio here in this portable mixing cup. Now, the mixture ratio that I use for putting down my base coat is approximately 4 parts of paint to, I'm sorry, 1 part paint to 4 parts thinner. If I'm going for a fine line, I'll usually up the thinner ratio to 6 from 4. And, you know, that's really it. So let's get started. Some Tamiya semi-gloss paint for pre-shading. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Approximately. And this is thinner, even though it doesn't look like it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. And you know, I usually like to have the consistency look like 1% milk, give or take. It looks like this mixture is fairly close to what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and pipette this mixture into the cup of my airbrush. I'm using a Badger 150 double action airbrush. See here, this is the okay. Let's do some pre-shading. Now for the pre-shading, there's no exact way of doing it. The lines don't have to be super precise. We're just looking for getting the main impressions down because the paint's going to be covered by the base coat of the main color, and we're just looking to get the overall essence of the panel line. Now you can see I'm holding the airbrush about 3 inches away from the surface. Sometimes I'll go in even closer than that, depending on how detailed I'm looking to get. But you know, I think you'll be happy with this mixture. I know I am. I'll be continuing to use it. Overall, it's a huge improvement from the paint mixture I was using in the past. Again, water and isopropyl alcohol. Using this mixture of flow improver, drying retarder, isopropyl alcohol, and distilled water, you can't go wrong. It's pennies on the dollar as far as cost, and give it a shot and let me know how it works out for you. Alright everyone, talk to you later.